free trade is a concept of granting people the freedom to exchange anything they want to exchange with a couple of limitations. One is you need a government to prevent force and prevent fraud, and you need a government to guard their property rights for whatever it is they're trading or what they're trading for. And you need a government to step in and make sure people keep their word, enforce contracts. Those are the conditions for free trade, and then trade just takes place.
And so what happens is, typically with free trade, both countries end up with cheaper prices for their goods. So if we go to the store and go buy a product that was made in Mexico or a product that was made in Canada, today that would be a lot cheaper in real terms than it would have been 30 years ago before NAFTA.
In India, until about 1991, it had lots of restrictions on trade. And that, as a result, for example, I'll give you an example, automobile industry. Until about 1995, you only found one type of automobile, which is a very old model, only one company producing. It cost arm and a leg to buy one, nobody could afford. And the industry was very inefficient because it had no competition. Okay? Now if you go to India, those cars are produced by different companies are producing it. Foreign companies are in India producing Toyota and all sorts of cars. They have almost halved in price. Lot of people who could not afford to buy a car now buy a car, and it's cheaper. So everybody is better off in a sense. But if you have more competition, then you have to be on your toes all the time. And so therefore you try to be efficient, and some of the inefficient ones will disappear. And so the overall, in the long run, more efficient firms will come.
You don't like to have your job destroyed, you have to go find another job, but sometimes you're working in a job where you're just not that productive. Progress does that to people. For example, when Henry Ford began to use an assembly line to make Ford cars for $400 a piece, do you realize how many stable workers were put out of a job by that? They were ruined, and they didn't know how to make cars. They had to go find something else they could do, and they may have had periods of unemployment. It visited a hardship on them. You could say it's the price of progress, but in the long run, this is what human beings want to do. They want to do more trading so they can be better off. Who has helped the most? Actually, poor people are helped the most, because instead of working for 50 cents a day, now maybe they can work for $3 a day, and then maybe they can increase their skills at something and make $10 a day. It's what you call creative destruction.
Creative destruction is a really, really touchy subject for a lot of people. Personally, I don't think that what a lot of people think of as creative destruction is necessary. In order to have more innovation and to get us more advanced, there will be costs incurred. And so the real question is, where's the balance? What exactly are we willing to sacrifice in order to advance ourselves? And I think the important thing is to remember that as long as there's a social safety net, it's not all that bad for someone to be unemployed for a few months.
Now, if you try to protect the worker rights, meaning, let's say their jobs, and I go back to my country of origin, which is India, there is a policy that if you employ more than 100 people, you cannot close down the factory even if you are making a loss. Now, what is the consequence? Are you protecting the workers? Possibly you are protecting those workers, okay? But there are new workers who are in the wings, who are looking for jobs, okay? Now, they will get jobs in new concerns. Now, if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm trying to invest, and if I know that if I open this factory, I'm not able to sack anybody, then I'll possibly not take the risk and invest at all. Okay? So those new jobs are gone because of you are protecting one group of people who are already employed, okay? But you are not protecting the people who are looking for a job.
Factories have been set up for the sole purpose of selling merchandise to Walmart. All kinds of electronics, clothing. Now, what's been the effect of that? Well, they put up these factories. Thousands of people travel hundreds of miles on trains to apply for the jobs in these factories because they're the best paying jobs that people ever had. And maybe they're making $10 a day. never heard of wages like that. And it's pulling them out of poverty. And I don't mean really, it's not like taking care packages out and distributing food to people. No, it's creating a job where you can earn enough that you're just no longer in poverty. That's a wonderful poverty program. And Walmart alone, over the last 25 years, has been responsible for lifting about 500,000 people a year out of poverty permanently. Now, are they exploiting those people, paying them whatever, $10 a day? Yeah. Are those people exploiting Walmart? You bet they are. They exploit each other. They don't call it that. They call it trade.
I'm a little bit on the side of the multinationals here. Say Nike goes to Pakistan and opens a textiles store. Now, what should they pay? Should they pay US wages in Pakistan? Is that what we expect? Why should they? So they should pay what the prevailing wage in Pakistan is. And most often they actually pay more than what the prevailing wage in Pakistan is, which is a lot less than US wages, of course. Of course, the wages are lower, okay? Now, often they're criticized in those countries because by paying higher wages than the domestic firms, they're creaming off all the good quality workforce, and the domestic firms are left to it, okay? So in those countries, they're criticized for paying too much, and here they're criticized for paying too little.